Hey guys, it's Rob from Ultimate Diesel Tuning. Today I want to talk to you about a few really popular comments that I see on Facebook pages and groups in relation to Oncar chemical soot cleaning. These comments tend to pop up when someone asks for a recommendation or experience on this process. Some of the comments are like, I don't want all that muck going back through my engine. The only way to clean my engine is remove the manifold and do it manually to get the job done right. Before I move on, don't forget, quickly subscribe to the Ultimate Diesel Tuning YouTube channel. I'll go over these answers in a little bit more detail later in the video, but the shorter answer of these two is our Oncar chemical soot clean just doesn't send the gunk back through the engine, and by removing the manifold and giving it a clean, doesn't clean the upper valve train of the motor as well. But first things first, what is actually soot? Quite simply, the common rail diesel engine exhaust gas recirculation, or EGR valve, recirculates a percentage of the used and dirty exhaust gases back into the inlet manifold and combustion chamber, instead of simply sending it through out the exhaust. So the dry exhaust gases then mix inside the engine with the wet oil vapors produced by the engine crankcase ventilation system. This gradually creates an oily tar-like black residue buildup, which is commonly referred to as soot. Over time, this soot then lines the inner surface of the engine components, such as the inlet manifold and the valve train, amongst others. As the soot builds up inside the engine, it becomes restrictive, as it's restricting the airflow to the engine, thus taking away the performance of the engine as well as efficiency, and can also affect your fuel economy. And it's like, as I've said in other videos, clogging your arteries to your heart. To fix this issue and clean out all the soot from in the intake and upper valve train, we use an Oncar chemical soot clean procedure at all our workshops and performance centres, and here is how it works. Our machines inject chemical solution at high pressure into the engine, which dissolves the soot in the direction of airflow inside the intake manifold and valve train, which is where it's restrictive. It then dissipates out the exhaust as vapour, not a solid material, so it's totally harmless to the engine. It's not abrasive or anything like that. As I said before, the soot turns into vapour, so it's air, and there's no gunk or solid particles present anymore. At Ultimate Diesel Tuning, we've taken the time to develop the right solution that works extremely well in cleaning out the soot from inside your intake and upper valve train. A lot of other workshops will say they've got exactly the same product as us. It's not, it's different. We've developed it ourselves, and as I said, works extremely well, and it's not harmful to your engine. So that covers off our first comment. Let's move on to the second one about manual cleans. Manual soot cleans are a procedure where the intake manifold or manifolds and other engine components are removed from the engine, stripped down and physically cleaned, and in most cases acid bath as well to get rid of the soot. This method is messy, expensive, time poor, quite often days or a week's turnaround, and actually does not remove all the soot. Soot will also congregate in parts of the cylinder head and the backs of the valves as well. So to do this manual method properly, the cylinder head or heads will also need to come off, which is literally half the engine. So it's a huge expense, more parts and machining is also involved, which also means a lot more time without your car. Some vehicles we do remove parts of the manifold and manually clean, and then we carry out the Oncar chemical soot clean. So to sum this up, there's no gunk going back through your engine with an Oncar chemical soot clean or manifold off process. The one thing I just wanted to clear up was when you do remove the manifold, you're actually not cleaning any further than just the parts you've removed. So that upper intake and then valve train is not getting cleaned unless you're moving the cylinder head from the engine. So once we've finished the soot cleaning process, on all the vehicles we always carry out a minor service, oil and filter change on every vehicle. And the best thing about this process is we only need your vehicle for the best part of one day. So guys, we've covered off a couple questions today. I imagine you've got a heap more questions you'd like to talk to us, and that's why we've got our diesel experts at Ultimate Diesel Tuning. So give us a call or drop into one of our performance centres in Brisbane, Gold Coast and Melbourne. And remember, we've also got a dealer network all around Australia, but make sure you subscribe to the Ultimate Diesel Tuning YouTube channel.